I recently made a video about why certain jobs pay more than others. One thing I forgot to mention is supply and demand. That's a general business term, mostly dealing with inventory per se, but it applies to any other situation that can be applied to the business world as well. So, for example, people will say, well, darn, teachers deserve to get paid more. And I'm a teacher. So, you can compare teaching with professional basketball players, for example. Teaching military, police, firefighters. And don't get it twisted. As a police officer, you can make extra money doing what you call detail work, security details. I'll talk about that another day on another video. But, you know, first of all, any occupation has other opportunities to make more money. You just have to decide if you want to engage in those extra occupations. But let's talk about base salaries. NBA player versus a teacher. Supply and demand. Well, I'm 5'10". Even at my best, I used to like to eat, and I ran track for a little while, but and I was actually pretty fast, but I'd always be because I like to eat so much, I'd always be like 5 or 6 pounds overweight. It was muscle, but it was solid muscle, and that's not what you need for track. So when I played basketball, look, maybe I could have played overseas. Maybe if I would have tried my hardest and put everything into it, maybe my not so tall self could have played some basketball. So the supply of people who are 6'5" and above and can fly from the free throw line. Look, the supply of those people is short. Now, is the supply of teachers large? Well, right now we're in the midst of what you call a shortage as far as teachers are concerned. So whether the government wants to do it or admit it or not, they're going to have to raise teacher salaries. But right now, okay, you have more people in the world who can teach than you do who can play basketball. And then the other part is demand. The demand for people to, we're in America. People don't care about education like they used to. I mean, folks want to see stuff on TV that's entertaining. People like to watch fights on World Star, and they like to, watch things that are entertaining and fun. Teaching is neither of which. As a matter of fact, kids don't want to go to school. So for teenage kids and, even some adults, the demand for formats that pay teachers is low. The demand for people for athletes who will put butts in seats and put jerseys on backs for merchandise and homes is high. So I can't get mad at the basketball player. Either I can find a way to make myself grow taller and go back 20 years and I don't know. I don't know how I would have got to the NBA. Maybe I'd had to cheat my way or something. I don't know. But look, that's what it is. It's supply and demand. People are going to pay for that. I remember seeing somebody else talking about how, college athletes, there's ways that college athletes can get their names, images, and likenesses marketed. So somebody was like, well, they shouldn't be able to get paid. Look, nobody had a problem with 14 and 15-year-old golfers turning pro and getting paid. But now all of a sudden, because football players and basketball players can get their name, image, and likeness marketed, it's a problem that they get paid now. I wonder why, but we know the answer. So anyway, with that being said, supply and demand. If what you do is in low supply and high demand, then what you can generally demand for salary, it depends on the circumstances, but that's the general rule of thumb. If you have a skill that's in high demand but in low supply, that also drives the rate of pay that you can demand up as well. I have astigmatism. If I look down at the screen, it makes my eyes look like they're closed, but if I look up, it looks like I'm wide awake. I have to remember to do that. My kids get me in school about that all the time. Mr. Renaissance Man, why it look like your eyes closed? Are you awake? Yeah, I'm awake. I'm always awake, and I know what you're doing, and I hear everything you're saying. But anyhow, so just keep that in mind when you're making your career path or redoing your career path. Supply and demand matters. And then what I'll do in some other videos is show you how to research general wages and salaries for careers, and show you how to break them down by region, what credentials do you need to get what it is that you want, so forth and so on. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.